So it's the week before Christmas here. I wanted to do a quick walk and talk around the garden to show you that there's still some really good things happening in the garden here. This is the time of year where the evergreens start to really show themselves. They're the bones of the garden. And I think from spring to fall, we don't always appreciate what they're bringing to the garden. We get caught up in the flowers and we get caught up in the foliage. We kind of forget about the bones. This is the best time of year to see those bones. And when you're planning your own garden, this is a really good place to start. As you sort of pan around, you're going to see a lot of different foliage, a lot of things holding onto their leaves, the hornbeams that hold onto their leaves. Although they're brown, they're still providing structure. They're still giving a little bit of a room, a little bit of a wall, some interest to your winter garden. A garden doesn't reach its full potential until you've got all 4 seasons figured out. And now's the time to figure out your winter season. It's a beautiful day, get outside in the garden and take a look. Come down to the gardens. You'll actually see some things that you might be surprised at. There's some beauty in the winter garden. The yews, the boxwoods. There's so many options for really cool color and excitement in the garden. And I think it's a really good time to sort of get excited about spring. It's not that far off. The hellebores are starting to show their leaves. There's a number of different sort of plants in the garden that you can really latch onto. So I just want to point out a couple here. So we've got a lot of the cypresses, a lot of these evergreens work really, really well together. At this time of year, they're cold. So some of the golds really start to intensify and you start to get more of a gold color. Without everything sort of around it, that really pops. Some of the gold cypress, we've got vintage gold here, Camas cypress. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. I don't have this in my garden and I'm actually going to look for it in the spring. It's something that I think would really make my garden pop. We're going to take a visit to my garden in the next couple of weeks so you can sort of see my winter garden. You've sort of seen it spring, summer, fall. I want you to see it now as well. So as we walk through, there's a few things that here at the gardens that we're going to work on. This is one of them. This barberry is actually starting to become invasive in the ravines. And this is something that we're going to look at. When this was planted 10, 12 years ago, we weren't thinking about those things. What happens is the birds actually eat all these great berries, which I agree is probably why it was planted in the first place. What happens is they then fly into the ravines and then the seeds get dropped and they start growing and no one catches them. So these are things we're going to be editing out over the next little bit here in the gardens as we move forward. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and we will see you in the new year.